Hey, you guys, I am super excited to be delivering some history to you. I will be sitting in this chair every time I deliver it. This first part is called The Real America, Whitewashing, Lies, and the Truth Behind the History They Sold Us. Welcome to Real America, a podcast built not on what they want you to know, but what they try to erase. If you grew up in this country, you were taught to worship a certain face, certain names, certain standards. You were taught that intelligence, leadership, invention, beauty, morality all wore a white face. But you were lied to, not because the truth didn't exist, but because the truth was inconvenient for the people in power. America was built on Black hands, indigenous knowledge, Latino intervention, Asian endurance, and the blood and sweat of marginalized people. But the history books erased their names. Hollywood erased their faces. Schools erased their genius. And while we're talking about erasing, let's go way back to the first major lie. Oh, Christopher Columbus. The man we were told discovered America. Even though millions of indigenous people were living here already. What most people don't know is that in his journal, Columbus wrote, after meeting the native people, they were gentle and without knowledge of what was evil. They would make good servants. Translation. These people are peaceful, loving, kind, and I cannot wait to enslave them. Because nothing says founding father like meeting your host and immediately plotting their captivity. And we gave this man a national holiday. We built statues of him. We taught kids to dress like him for school plays. We called him a hero. Then we sat in front of the TV for decades watching cowboys and Indians, where the Indians were always the villains. The same people who slaughtered, hunted, displaced, and lied to were painted as aggressors. But the truth is, Native Americans were never the problem. They were survivors. Everything they did out of survival. They had to protect their land, their children, their language, their freedom. And when Europeans came to steal, survival meant resistance. So they fought, and they were called salvages. And if white people had to face what Native Americans faced, they wouldn't have survived the week. And this is what this podcast is about. Unlearning the myths, reclaiming the truth, because if we don't do it, they're going to keep pretending they were always the good guy. Here's what we're going to uncover in this series. Who really commits most of the crimes in America and why the system made you think otherwise? Who really invented the things we can't live without and why their names were stolen from the history books? How beauty standards were built to shame blacks and brown women until white women surgically copied them. How real intelligence lives in every color and why that terrified the powerful. Why the ideal of free America crumbles the moment marginalized voices try to speak the truth, and why symbols like the Confederate flag still fly in this country, even though they were designed to uphold white supremacy. This podcast isn't about hate. It's about healing. It isn't about division. It's about exposure. Because once you see the real America, you can't unsee it. Welcome to Real America. Let's begin.